Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
What's up, Mzansi Maestros? I'm back with another video. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. To the sensitive haters in my comments, please.
And kiss my ass.
Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you are a new subscriber, you are welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back home. And if you are a passerby, I hope you like what you see enough for you to stick around. If you have not yet, please click on that notification bell so that you can be notified every time I post a new video. And if you have not yet, please be a darling and follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'd like to thank everybody that's gone over to Instagram and Twitter and showed me some love. I appreciate you guys so much. And I just want to tell you guys that I appreciate this hair so much. Guys, I should have been having dreadlocks. Look at me. I'm serving black girl magic. What? Woo. Wow. I do a lot. Sometimes I feel myself a little too much. I do be feeling myself. But I like this. I'm feeling myself so much. Anyways, I am back today with another review. Let me just say a chit chat of Umdeni, guys. I don't know. There's 22 more episodes of this thing. No. There's 22 episodes in the season and we're at episode 11. Do I have the strength and the wherewithal to go through another 10 episodes? I don't think so. The only reason why I come on here is because I'm just like, I must now, for consistency purposes, just so that you guys don't sit there and think to yourselves, oh no, that girl is such a flake. For the purpose of consistency, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. You know, if you start something, you have to finish it. I don't want it to be the same thing with what's that thing that I started and didn't finish? Now we're too happily ever after. I got so bored with those boys. I was just like, I won't do it. On Giga, I was like, no, Gigs, I won't do it. I couldn't do it. Anyways, so here I am talking to you guys today about episode 10 and 11 of Umdeni. Let me tell you something. I'm just gonna talk to you guys about the key things that popped up to me in these two episodes. And the issues and the areas where I feel like they had, you know, they hit the head on the nail, they hit the nail on the head, and areas where I thought, you know, they could have done things differently. With episode 10, we start off episode 10 with sort of like a recap of episode 9. I remember Umkulu had taken his people off to like a horse ranch or something, and then Poku ended up riding one of the horses just like all the other people who were there. You know, it was a horse riding situation. And then Poku told us as he was riding the horse that his nether area was sore. Poku says his nether area was sore, like the bum area is in pain. But they didn't say it was the bum area in episode 9. In episode 9, they were calling it a spinal cord injury with their asses. Spinal cord injury. They call it a spinal cord injury. They call it a spinal cord injury, and we're all like, oh no. Like in episode 9, I was like, spinal cord? I was like, no. I was concerned. I said, oh my God, no. I said, no. I said, no, God, not the man's spine, because you know your spine is how you stand upright. I said, no. You know, but no. We start off episode 10. They talk about that. And then now in episode 10, Upoku goes to Umkulu. And then he tells Umkulu that, Ish, Umkulu, you know, guy, my nether area is still sore. My nether area is still sore. And when I tried to go to the bathroom to relieve myself, and I wiped my booty, there was blood on there. I hope YouTube doesn't demonetize this, because I think this is a really valuable episode. Like, I think this is a really valuable video. So Upoku tells Umkulu that he tried to go relieve himself at the bathroom, and then when he was trying to wipe, there was blood on there, you know? And then Umkulu, with his lying ass. That's the thing I hate about Umkulu. He's grown, he's old, and he's not living his truth. That's my issue. Umkulu says to Upoku, Poku, are you telling me that you are now bleeding from your anal area because of a spinal cord injury? And even Poku said himself, Poku said, but then How is Umkhulu calling this issue a spinal cord injury when there is blood coming out from my body? So that means that this issue is not a spinal cord injury. It might be. I'm not saying it is. It might be an issue. Umkhulu blew that man's back out. I don't know. You know? But what I am trying to say, guys, is the fact that this was such a valuable conversation and such a valuable episode. Firstly, because a lot of men, for me, you know, when he said that he was bleeding from the nether area, for me, the first thing that came to myself was, ooh, okay, maybe Mkhulu blew that man out, you know? Maybe Mkhulu is just so gifted that he sort of maybe might have caused a little damage, you know, with his partner. But then at the same time, there was a part of me that said to myself, but what if this is prostate cancer, guys? Honestly, what if this is prostate cancer? What if this is an issue of sort of like a fistula? What if this is an issue of hemorrhoids? It could be so many things that are happening with this man that will educate a lot of black men who are watching this show, you know? There might be a lot of people who are bleeding from the booty, but they aren't talking. They're ashamed to say, oh, ouch, my booty is bleeding. Have you ever had piles, guys? There might be people who are sitting there with piles and they're just like, oh, I can't tell nobody that my booty is bleeding because it's embarrassing. But you know what Upoku did? Took away the embarrassment of it. So long story short, Upoku went to go see a professional. He went to something that looked like a clinic. I don't know if it was a clinic. I don't know if it was a doctor, but it looked like a clinic sort of setup. Upoku went to go see a professional, and the professional told him that, listen, Poku, it doesn't look like it's piles. It doesn't look like there's a tear in that area. It looks like it's something that comes deep from inside your intestines. And that's really scary, guys. That's really, really scary. What if that man has intestinal cancer, guys? There was one of, I think it was the OJs. Was it the OJs? No. The guy that used to sing with, not Marvin Gaye. I think it might have been the OJs. He used to sing with Otis Redding. One of those guys, he had a very peculiar cancer. I don't know if it was skin cancer or I think it might have been colon cancer. So when Upoku went there and they said, listen, it's not a rupture anywhere on the anal area. It looks like it's coming from deep within, like by the colon. Oh my God, I got so scared for that man. I thought to myself, guys, what if this is colon cancer? Do you guys know what cancer does to people? You know? So I think to myself that whatever the issue here is with Upoku, I think this is a really important teaching moment for a lot of South Africans, for a lot of South African men who are scared of their bums, who are scared of their booties. Guys, how many times have we seen on social media men's underwear and they're just brown at the back? You can see that these people, they don't go in there, they don't do a thorough wiping. Some of them, not all of you guys, okay? Some of these men don't go in there and do that thorough wiping. That's all I'm saying. So if some of these people don't even be wiping thoroughly, what would they do if they saw blood coming from that area? Some of them might pass out. So this whole issue, Kapoku, and him having, you know, the blood coming from the nether regions. I was on Facebook and so many people were laughing about it and saying, oh no, Poku's getting his ass blown out. Oh no, Poku's this is happening to him. I said to myself, you know what, guys, you guys can be kikiing and making all of them jokes about this thing, but what if this is a real medical issue? You know, so I'm really interested to see where this thing ends up. I just hope it's not cancer, but whatever it is, I really hope that it is a teaching and a teachable moment for a lot of black people. There's a lot of black men who don't know a lot about their own sexuality, guys, hey? Just don't know a lot about their own sexuality. So that is the teachable moment that I'm thinking could happen here. So another thing that happened Kwamkulu is the fight that Ukeli Girl had with the guy with Umamkulu, with the guy who considers himself to be Umamkulu in Mkulu's compound. Hey guys, I don't know. Ukeli Girl, remember 2 episodes ago, Kelly Girl told one of those guys, I don't know if his name was Umachabula or Alfie, guys, nah, I've mixed them up. I don't know who's Machabula or who's Alfie. But 2 episodes ago, Ukeli Girl was telling this guy that he's not happy living with Umkulu because Umkulu, he feels like Umkulu doesn't treat everybody there the same way, you know. And then we learn now in this episode that, okay, Umkulu asked his head or his head, you know, his head partner, the partner that's, you know, that came before all of them, who considers himself Umamkulu. He asked that guy to go and speak to Ukeligel and find out why Ukeligel is unhappy. And then they tell Ukeligel that, no, Ukeligel, when are you drinking? Ukeligel, when are you've given yourself to alcohol? Ukeligel, man, you are over here with the booze. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself that, but what do they expect, guys, to some extent? Like, what do they expect? Remember last week I said, well, in the last video I said, but it sort of is curious to me because some of these guys or some of these people who, I say people because some of them are transgender, some of them, and some of these people who are with Umkulu, it looks to me like they are there because their families might not have wanted or might not have understood them. Therefore, they might not have wanted to live with them. Their families might have rejected them. Therefore, Umkulu's house was a safe haven. So maybe Ukeligel is going through a similar thing. What if Ukeligel is going through a similar thing where he might have been rejected or she might have been rejected by her own family, and now here she is in Umkulu's compound, Umkulu Oamshela. Because Ukeligel told us that, no, Umkulu Ngshelile mina. Ukeligel said to us, no, Umkulu shelled me and I came, you know? So, and now Umkulu shelled me, I came to Umkulu's compound, but now Umkulu's treating me like I'm not here. What if, guys? What if now Ukeligel is going through the whole depression? No, man. Vele, my own family didn't appreciate me or didn't understand me. And now I'm living with Umkulu and I am one of the lower grade citizens. What do they expect? You know, I really hate when people are heavy drinkers. Because obviously people don't just drink heavily because, oh, no. Oh no, yeah, it's fun, let me go drink. Drinking has a lot of side effects, guys. Have you ever had a hangover? I once had a hangover where I felt like I might be dying, guys, you know? I lay on my couch that day and I thought to myself, is this the end? I was just like, could this be the end? I was so stressed. I was so dehydrated. So drinking has its own issues, guys. People don't just drink and jay because, oh no. Sometimes while I'm drinking, I'm like, while I'm drinking, it's just that it's nice. I enjoy it. Like, you know, I've got my favorite drinks and I feel like, oh no, I'm gonna have that drink. But sometimes while I'm drinking, I'm just like, you know? So I don't think Ukeligel would be throwing herself in alcohol like that if there isn't a wound inside of her that no one else understands. And I think the wound that Ukeligel is dealing with is a wound of rejection. I'll tell you that. I will posit to you that perhaps Ukeligel is feeling rejected. Maybe. And now Ukeligel is throwing herself in alcohol, and now this Umamkulu, this person who was sent by Umkulu to go talk to Ukeligel, instead of sort of trying to find out from Ukeli that, Kelly, what's happening? You know, trying to be ginger and gentle with her, sort of trying to get to Kelly without showing that Kelly that you're getting to her. She was rough. Umamkulu was rough on Ukel, and sort of lambasting Ukeligel for drinking too much. And I see that a lot of people who don't drink, they don't understand what people do drink. You know, I don't know, it baffles me. I just feel like people need to understand that people don't fall into alcohol and people don't become alcoholics because they like it. At some point, for people who are alcoholics, it's sort of like an abyss. You fall into that abyss and you clamber out, but you can't, you know. So I feel like the approach that they had for Ukeligel was not good. It was not great. It's obvious that Ukeligel feels like she's the least wanted there. She feels like she's the least welcome. She feels like she's the least seen there. And now here's this person who's supposed to be so very seen by Umkulu, sort of sitting there and judging Ukeligel, you know? Guys, I'm sorry I keep doing this because I am feeling this here. My God. I'm just like, You guys, I'm feeling it. Anyway, so that's all I have to say about Umkhulu and Umkhulu's compound for episode 10. Let's talk about Umasego and his compound quickly for episode 10. We for Umasego and Masego's house, we see Utabula again. Utabula, in the last episode, Utabula had gone to go visit his Inyanga. Remember, Tabula told us that now Unyanga, he's got a very personal Inyanga. It's almost like if you've got a medical doctor. It be like that sometimes. For some people, it is like that. Like for some people, having an Inyanga is like having a medical doctor. They go every month. They get herbs every month. You know, it's a routine by a kappa every month. That's just what it is. You feel me? So Utabula went to go see his Inyanga because now of the things that are happening in the household since Colin was introduced kwa Masego. Dabula's Inyanga tells Utabula that when at Dabs, you're in trouble because one of your sister wives has tried to bewitch you. One of your sister wives tried to take one of your sister wives took one of your clothing items and they went to go work on it. That's why I don't believe my stuff on the washing line for too long. No, baby. No, darling. You won't catch me doing that. No. I'm not the one for that. On the washing line. Never. Guys, it can be 10 o'clock at night. If I remember that even my sock is on the washing line, I'm up. I'm outside, I'm getting my thing outside. Because that's how they do. They get your stuff from the washing line and they work on it. So anyways, Dabula Zinyanga tells Dabula that one of your items of clothing was taken in your house by one of your sister wives. And they went to go put some voodoo or hoodoo on it. And that is why your things are not going well. And Dabula's Inyanga tells Utabula that no, Dabula, it's obvious that even your powers as an Inyanga are not strong. You must remember that everyone who is on the show has a spiritual calling or has the calling Yobungoma. And now Utabula's Inyanga is telling Dabula that no, Dabs, your calling is not there anymore. Let me not say the calling is not there, but his powers are not there anymore. But how can the powers be there if Utabula is spending most of his time running after Umasego? If he's not running after Umasego, he's accosting Unkanyezi. And I'll tell you who I suspect. I suspect that Unkanyezi is the one. I highly suspect that Unkanyezi is the one that went and worked on Utabula's clothes. I suspect that Unkanyezi is the one that went and put a spell on Utabula's clothes because Utabula has been reckless with Unkanyezi. Dabula has been so disrespectful to Unkanyezi. And remember, I think it was in episode 7 when Colin and Colin's mother went to go see an Inyanga themselves. The Inyanga told Colin that Colin must be careful because there's a very strong woman in Masego's compound. There's a woman who is very strong spiritually. So whatever Colin tries, he must not step on that woman's toes. And I'm telling you today, that girl from Eswatini, Lomfazi ophume Eswatini, nguye. I'm telling you, nguye, guys. But okay, one thing that really saddened me is hearing about Utabula's past. I think what's sort of endearing a lot of these characters to me, and I say characters because it's a show, but obviously these are real people. What's endearing them to me is me finding out about their personal lives and finding out about how they grew up and who they are. You know, it's one thing to sort of be like, oh no, Kelly girl is trying to be a girl, but it's another thing to sort of sit down and find out what's Kelly girl's background. You know what led her to this path. It's much better for you to understand someone once you know about their background, and it's much easier or it's inevitable for you to humanize someone once you know who they are. So I found myself really, I don't want to say humanizing Utabula because Dabula is a person. She's been a human being, but I had more empathy for Utabula in this episode because Utabula, we find out that Dabula's mother was not a good mother to Dabula and Dabula's brother. We find out that the mother gave birth to them but never really raised them. And I can just imagine, guys, I've got a very active mother. Oh, my mother was overactive, my God. Even today, guys, I'm Whew, I'm middle-aged, guys. But by middle-aged, I mean I'm a tender 20-something. Don't play with me. But I am of a very progressive age. But my mother is still in my life today. She still wants to know what I'm doing today. You know, and sometimes it's really overbearing, but I know it comes from a place of love. So I can imagine the wound. I can imagine the wound that it would leave in a person for your mother to be alive and not to raise you. So one thing for the father to do it, even that leaves a wound, it's true. But for this person that you came out of to just abandon you, oh my God, I had so much empathy for Udabula. And my empathy grew in episode 11 when we meet Udabula's brother. Let me check if I've got any more notes on episode 10. Okay, another thing in episode 10, before I get into episode 11, because I was about to jump now to episode 11. For episode 10, we see a different dynamic to Colin's relationship with his mother. Remember in episode 7 and 8, we meet Colin's mother, and Colin's mother was the one that was sort of inciting Colin to go and poison Omasego's food, remember? In episode 10, we see a different dynamic to their relationship. Colin takes his mother away for like a spa day. And Colin says that he's taking the mother away for the spa day so that they can talk in a neutral place where he knows that the mother won't make a big deal about the conversation that Colin wants to have with the mother. And then Colin goes on to ask the mother if he really is his mother's son. Or, okay, let me not say son, because Colin is a transgender woman. He's a transgender person. Colin asked the mother if he really is the mother's child, you know. We learned that sometime when the mother was drunk and she had a disagreement with Colin, she said that Colin was not her child. And you can imagine that hurt Colin. He's still very hurt. Colin Usase hurt today by that comment, and it looked to me like it was just an off-the-cuff comment that the mother made, you know, when they're angry. My mother said some stuff to me when she's angry, but I noticed that I'm like, there she is, she's mad. But I know that in a heartbeat, if you called my mother now and you said that something's wrong with me, she'd get up and be like, where? How can I help? Should I come now? You know? So I think it's the same with Colin's mother. It might have just been an off-the-cuff comment that she made because she was mad for whatever reason, which I'm not saying is good. It's still very toxic to say toxic things when you're drunk and think people will forget. But I don't think that woman was saying that because she doesn't love Colin, or she doesn't, you know, she looks down on Colin, because it's been clear the fact that she said to the Colin and tried to advise Colin to poison Masego's food. That was her idea of love. That was her version of saying secure your future in this way, you know. So Colin was really angry at the mother, and Colin is of the feeling that he doesn't belong to this woman. He's not this woman's child, you know. And I was just like, my word, this is a lot. That was a lot to take in one episode, because we learn in this episode, in episode 10, that Colin thinks that he might be the mother's cousin's child. And I was like, wow. And another reason why Colin feels like that is because Colin Uti, the mother treats Colin's sister differently from how the mother treats Colin. And the mother said, no, the only reason why I treat this woman differently than how I treat you is because that one has a child, and I do for the child, and I don't do for you because you don't have a child, but I do for you, you know. I was just like, wow. I don't know, guys. That was a different dynamic to that relationship. It was a really different dynamic to that relationship, and I thought to myself, this relationship it's deep. There are a lot of crevices and a lot of corners that Colin and the mother need to go into for them to sort of heal whatever wound is there. But you can definitely tell that Colin has a wound. There's a deep wound with Colin. And sometimes you ask yourself that, could some of these people be falling into Masego's arms and into Mkulu's arms because there were no father figures. There were no, dads who would be sitting there and, leading them and holding them, I wonder, guys. I wonder. And the same would apply for a heterosexual woman, because a lot of the time women find themselves falling into the arms of men who aren't good for them because they're chasing their father. Or sometimes it's so difficult for you to fall into a healthy relationship because you're afraid that the man that you might end up with is your father, So I'm not just saying that because this is, people of the LGBTQ. I don't know, guys. But I'll tell you, finding these things out about Udabula, about Ukolen, I thought to myself, these rivers run really deep. They run really, really deep. Okay, let's talk about episode 11 quickly, let's talk quickly now about episode 11, because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it, and I'll tell you what I'm sick of. I'm sick of myself. He's just making me hella sick right now. He's making me sick. And this is why. Masego goes to go see a skin specialist in episode 11. Because remember, he had all of those spots on his face and on the rest of his body too. I think I spayed who took him a party. I guess so. Even in Sesotho, I guess. But in English, it's just scars. He's got a lot of scarring on his skin, and he says it's from mosquito bites. I know. I was reading him about it. I did. I remember the first episode I saw of the show. My sister was watching it, and I saw this guy with all of these marks on his body, and I thought to myself, what is this? What hell is this? Because to me, it just looked like he didn't look after himself. To me, it just felt like it looked like he didn't give a damn about himself. But he does care about himself, actually. So he's over there at the skin clinic to go get himself sorted out. It looked like he's going to get a skin peel or whatever. They were sort of doing, I don't know if it was laser on the skin. They were going to put collagen in the skin. But anyways, they were treating him. Does Masego not ask this woman who is treating him out? Does Masego not try and hit on this woman that's treating him? Does Masego not try to get this woman's number? Does Masego not promise us that he's going to take this woman home with him? He asks this woman out, and he tells us that this woman is going to be added to his long list and his long roster of women that live at his house. And I was like, okay, and next, and what? God, I'm so sick of that man. What are all of these women for? So, one of the issues that really, Masego aside, one of the issues that really touched me with Masego's compound this week is meeting Dabula's brother. Like I said, with episode 10, we found out that Dabula's mother was actually not a really good mother to Dabula and his siblings. And here we meet Dabula's brother, and we see that Dabula's brother is basically homeless. Dabula's brother seems to be homeless. He seems to be someone who's addicted to some sort of substance. I don't know what kind of substance it is, but you could see that he's having a hard time. And you could see the fact that his brother is having a hard time was really difficult for Udabula to sort of to live with and to sort of swallow. And it was difficult for me as well to see that, because I couldn't imagine it. I couldn't imagine what it feels like to have a family member so far gone, and Dabula did offer to pay for the brother to go to rehab, but the brother got really abrasive, and he got sort of offended at the offer of rehab. But it also goes back to the whole issue I was making about people being so far gone and using alcohol as a crutch. Sometimes when people do say to you, hey, you drink too much, you sort of get offended, and it's the same thing with someone who uses narcotics. And I think the best aim and the best hope that Udabula has here is for him to sort of not judge the brother here, to sort of find out what, I think he knows why the brother is down that path. It's just that they've chosen different paths. But I think a position of being really gentle and ginger with the brother is something that will definitely be helpful to sort of bring the brother back. In episode 11, Udabula hosts a baby shower for Umahlale. Remember, I said that Umahlale is pregnant. She is the first wife and the prettiest one, if you ask me. She's really, really pretty. Very, very, very dark beauty, that woman. I just don't know what she's doing with that man. She's a pretty girl. She could get any man she wanted. I don't know what she's doing over there, but okay. That's not my business. Udabula hosts a baby shower for Umahlale. And then Ufezile comes back. Fezile is the partner that Udabula... Fezile is the partner that Umaseko had in the last season, who left because I think Ufezile had been unfaithful. And Ufezile comes back. And he makes his grand appearance at Umahlale Ntabeni's baby shower. Maybe I'm too much of an attention seeker. I would have left. I would have left my own fucking baby shower. You're gonna make a fucking... You're gonna make a mother... You're gonna make an appearance at my bride... At my baby shower. No, I would have left. I would have taken myself and my baby bump and I would have left. Because you know what? It would have been my last. It would have been... The last word would have been mine, baby. It would have been mine. I thought that was really in bad taste. But again, I think it's production. Production was having Udabula produce the scenes, and he produced the hell out of that scene by having Ufezile come back, you know. And remember, Udabula was not happy with the Colin being in the picture, and Udabula's been wanting Ufezile to come back. Remember, Udabula said that at least if Masego had cheated on them with someone like Ufezile. I think Udabula went and got Ufezile. Udabula went, wangene khonchini wamfuna Ufezile, wamfuna wamthola, Ufezile, come out and help us fight Ukollen. I think that's what happened. I tell you that. I think that's what happened. But again, guys, I still ask the same question every week. Why all of these partners, guys? Why? But okay, and I don't know. One thing that really stuck out to me, I would like to advise Unkanyezi to leave that house. Because when Ufezile showed up, Unkanyezi got up to go hug Ufezile because she was so happy. Fezile didn't hug that girl back. Fezile might have kissed Unkanyezi back, but he did not hug her back. And then Unkanyezi goes and tells Umaseko that she's also pregnant. And then Umaseko asks for a DNA test. A DNA test, guys. Umaseko says he needs a DNA test because what's her name? Because Unkanyezi was away for 4 months and he had to go get Unkanyezi. How does he know that Unkanyezi was not busy? Sis. Unkanyezi is not getting equal treatment to everyone else there. And I said it at the beginning when I started reviewing the show. I said it looks to me like Unkanyezi was brought back. Unkanyezi ulandelwe just for the fact that she must be a plot line. And I hope she wisens up soon and she realizes what the hell they're trying to do with her name and her dignity. Okay, as far as Umkulu's compound, the big thing that went down in episode 11 is that Umkulu took all of his helpers, who we obviously are his lovers and his partners. Umkulu took all of his helpers away again to a nice little, it looked like a resort, but it looked like they were all there to have lunch. And then Umkulu asked all of them to sort of sit there and tell him what they weren't happy about. Some people were not happy with Ugeli. Again, Geli is the girl, is the girl that's part of the conversation, or she's the object of everyone's conversation. And then people are saying Ugeli is rude. Again, it goes back to what I said. I think Ugeli has trauma. Ugeli has a lot of trauma, and the trauma that Ugeli has is rejection. She feels rejected. She might have left in a situation where she had been rejected, and now she's living in a house where she's feeling double rejected. Obviously, she's going to have an attitude, you know. And then the biggest issue for me here was when Umamkulu, the guy that, Mkulu's partner, who considers himself to be Umamkulu, I call him a he because he presents as a he. He's not trans, he's not a trans person. He's still a man, but obviously he's homosexual. he told Umkulu that he would like Umkulu to do the right thing. He needs Umkulu to put a ring on it. He said, if you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. That's what he said. He said, okay? And then everybody else started chiming in. Opoku, they said, yes, Umkulu better put a ring on it. And I thought to myself, yo, Umkulu, you're getting yourself into a lot of bull-ish, because now all of these people want you to do the right thing. All of these people, they want to be wanted by Umkulu. Bafuna Umkulu abawandle bonke. And it's a lot of them. And Umkulu even told them and said, "Hi, my daughter, I've got 20 kids. And you guys have hands and feet to make your own living. Go make a living. Nitwasile nonke, go. Go niyosebenza abantu." But they all want to sit there and have Umkulu sort of be like the man and bring the bacon home. But at the same time, I don't blame them, because Umkulu Liana, he's sort of presenting himself as the man that's going to bring the bacon home. So if you're going to want to be treated like the man with the bacon, then be the man with the bacon. Look after your partners, Umkulu. That's all I'm saying, But I'll tell you guys, I don't know. I know I said it even the last time. I don't know. I think the biggest revelations in episode 10 and 11 is just finding out more about Udabula, us finding out more about Ukolene and his relationship with the mother, and sort of finding out what makes these people be the way that they are. Those are the biggest revelations here. Other than that, guys, I'm hanging on by a thread. But I probably will be back next week or in 2 weeks' time with episode 12 and 13. Or maybe I'll just sit it out until the season finale. I don't know. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys learned something from these videos, and the whole point behind all of this is for us to hold these production companies accountable for the sort of entertainment they give us, so that it can be entertaining, yes, but at the very same time it must be programming that builds our community, and especially the Black community. Thank you so much for watching, guys. That is all I have to say for episode 10 and 11. Tell me what you guys thought of both of the episodes. Tell me what you thought of this video. I love hearing from you guys. You guys will see me in my next video. Smooches.